So we think about the evolution of media. We read from left to right. We have on the left-hand side all the traditional forms of media, TV, print, and radio. They were all one way, right, from the advertiser outward. In the last 15 years, we have the internet, so in the middle. So it's two ways in the sense that, when someone actually clicks on a banner ad, we actually know. And now through digital channels, they can give us feedback and so on and so forth. So it's two ways. And over on the right-hand side is the, kind of many-way, many-to-many. And I put the mobile device there, and that's really as a symbol for the way people communicate. Right now with a mobile device, you're always on, you're always connected, and a lot of these younger people who grow up with it, they're texting their friends 5 at a time, not 1 at a time, right? Like a phone conversation, right? They're texting all of their friends, the friends are texting all of their friends back, so it's really many-to-many, and you have constant access to information. So no longer do you have to wait until you get back to your computer at home to log on to check email on a broadband connection. You've got it right there, right? And now there's even evidence that texting is already surpassing emailing because, again, people don't want to write one-on-one or have to get back to a computer. They're just going to text, and it's much shorter and it's much more frequent, right? So let me spend one more second on the middle part. There's a reason I have that dotted line in the internet, and that's really to divide it into two halves. The first half is still very much like traditional media. Think of it as banner ads. Right? So basically it's like a print ad, which is made smaller and put on a content page. And that relied on there being a ton of page views so that you could just generate the revenue based on cost per thousand. Right? The second half is very different from that. It's based on search. So you've seen Yahoo be completely dominant about 15 years ago. And now Google, came out of nowhere and kicked their butt, right? So now Google is completely dominant, right? In the span of 7, 8 years, not even that long. So why is that? In the second half, it's based on search because that's when someone actually goes to type in a search term, and Google serves up the ad based on the word that person typed in. So instead of the banner ad being served next to content, and they're kind of hoping that when you're reading that content, you might actually look up at the top on the right-hand side and hope that that banner ad is somewhat relevant to what you're looking for. Now, with search ads, it's actually based on exactly the word that you typed in, right? And it's served up at exactly the moment you typed it in. So, right, it solves a temporal issue, it solves a relevance issue. So in that case, and then here's one further innovation that Google came out with, and basically they changed the business model. So basically they said you don't have to pay, the advertiser, you don't have to pay until you get the click. So instead of you pay every 1,000 times the banner ad was displayed, you only pay when you get the click. That's performance marketing, right? So in that case, if you believe that banner ads get a 1% click-through rate, that means the other 99% was completely wasted. So if you were still paying for banner ads on a CPM basis, you're wasting 99% of your media dollars, right? So, the decades-old joke in advertising is, I know 50% of my marketing is wasted. I just don't know which 50%. Now, with digital, you know that 99% of your marketing dollars is being wasted, and you know which 99%, okay? And that kind of touches upon the metrics, the analytics, the ability to measure, whether it's actually working or not. And furthermore, this is all real time, right? You can actually see the clicks coming in. You don't have to wait for Nielsen to tell you 6 months after your ad aired whether it worked or not. And they don't even actually tell you whether it worked or not. They just tell you how many people may have seen your ad. Okay, so contrast that between the old world where they're measuring the audience size and the reach and frequency to now the new world, the new digital world, where you actually know the clicks, how many people actually clicked on your banner ad or your search ad. Okay? So there's a huge difference between the left side and the right side that we're talking about.